So today we will see chapter 18 endocrine system. So same thing we will see pathology and this all this like pancreas, pituitary gland, okay, and vocabulary terminologies. The endocrine system, no, it is information signaling system, much like the nervous system. However, the nervous system uses nerves to conduct information, whereas the endocrine system uses blood vessels as information. Okay, channels. So it uses blood vessel. Okay, to transmit something like any signal or anything. Okay, the glands are located in many regions of the body, releases into the bloodstream a specific chemical messenger called hormones. The blood will release. Okay, like glands are there. Okay, who will release the things, na, the substance inside the bloodstream, like a chemical called hormones. So it is also will work as a signal system. Okay, the endocrine gland are there, exocrine gland are there. Okay, we will see. Number one, thyroid gland. In number one is thyroid gland. Parathyroid gland are there. Adrenal gland are the third number. Fourth number can see pancreas. Pancreas we also say islet of Langerhans. Okay, fourth number is pancreas. Okay, then five is pituitary gland. Five number pituitary gland. Okay. Then ovaries and testes and pineal gland. Eight number is pineal gland in our brain. So like we will see in next you can also read in detail. Okay, what is this? What are there? So what they release or what all this kind of thing. Prostaglandin. So body gland, what they do? Prostaglandin secrete. They secrete prostaglandins. What they do? They do like aggregate of platelet, contract, contract uterus, lower acid secretion in stomach, lower blood pressure. They do. Gastrointestinal tract, what they do? Their function is like secreting cholecystokinin, gastrin, and secretin. So it will do like what the action? Contract gallbladder, stimulate gastric secretion, stimulate pancreatic enzymes. Kidney erythropoietin they do secrete. Okay, they will help into stimulating erythrocyte production. Placenta they hormones chronic chorionic gonadotropin. Okay, so sustains pregnancy. Skin is vitamin D, affect absorption of calcium. Thyroid gland location and structure. Thyroid gland. So this is a thyroid gland. Anterior view. Notice how the thyroid gland covers the trachea like a shield. You can see thyroid gland. Okay. Thyroid gland is composed of a right and a left lobe of either side of trachea, just below a large piece of cartilage called thyroid cartilage. Okay, trachea is the second number. First number is thyroid glands, and third is thyroid cartilage. The third is thyroid cartilage. Okay, the thyroid cartilage covers the larynx and production of prominence on the neck, known in men as the Adams. Fourth is the isthmus of the thyroid gland is a narrow strip of glandular tissue that connect two lobes. Okay. Function are there two of the hormones secreted by the thyroid gland are thyroxine. Okay, we know that hormone secreted by thyroid gland is thyroxine, tetroid thyroxine, triiodothyroxine, triiodothyronine. Okay. Iodine. Nothing important in this. You can read also. Okay, this secretion T3, 3, 4, calcitonin, then increase metabolism, increase decrease blood calcium that they do. So parathyroid gland, posterior view, parathyroid gland is number one and thyroid gland is number two. Function, what they do, parathyroid hormone is secreted, parathyroid hormone is secreted by the parathyroid gland. This hormone also known as parathyroid hormone mobilize calcium or mineral substance. Okay, so parathyroid gland secrete parathyroid hormone. Okay, nothing important in this. Homeostasis means equilibrium or constancy in the internal environment. Homeostasis. This we can see adrenal gland are two small gland on the top of each kidney. So this is the adrenal gland, one and consists of two part outer portion. The adrenal cortex is two. One is kidney, second is two. Okay, outer portion it is. And then adrenal medulla is three number. And then adrenal cortex secrete steroid or corticosteroids. Complex chemical, that is a complex chemical from cholesterol. The adrenal medulla secrete catecholamine, chemical derived from amino acid. Okay. So this is the word which comes all the they like corticosteroid, glucosteroid, mineralocorticoid, and this cortisone. All this will function. You can also read in detail. We only need to the word. Only need to know the word. Corticosteroid, adrenal cortex secrete corticosteroid, glucocorticoid, mineralocorticoid, and these hormones. Okay, nothing important in this. Stomach, tail of the pancreas, duodenum is this, head of the pancreas is this, duct is there, exocrine gland cells are there, liver is this, pancreas, stomach, we see. The islet of the Langerhans produce insulin, produced by beta cell, glucagon produced by the alpha cell, glucose is sugar, glucose, glycogen is starch storage form of sugar. Homeostasis. Pancreas is another example of homeostasis. Insulin makes lower blood sugar and glucagon raise blood sugar, raise blood sugar. Cerebrum, we know that. Pituitary gland, we know that. Hypophysis. The pituitary gland also called the hypophysis, okay? And the skull called the ceratopsica, that is located at the base of the brain. The pituitary gland is situated at the base of the brain in a small pocket-like depression of the skull called the ceratopsica. And another lobe adenohypophysis number one and posterior lobe it is neurohypophysis. Hypothalamus is three and C. Okay. This is the brain structure at the base of this, the below of the dead. That's why we are saying hypothalamus. Hypo. Okay. The pituitary gland, master gland, anterior pituitary gland. The pituitary gland we know that all where it is situated. Okay, base of the whole brain. They all things are secreting the. We will see all this word in the later. So every gland like pituitary gland, adrenal gland, okay, and every gland, they do something. work, okay, inside of our body. They stimulate, they secrete the hormone, they do the work, they raise the our blood pressure, decreasing blood sugar, increasing blood sugar, okay, increasing pressure, everything they do with the help. So that's why this chapter is there, okay. So we will see only the word. It is not important this chapter now. Whatever the important was there, we have covered already. Only the thing is now we need to see the like how to make the report and what is the setting and all this thing. Okay, how to make the template, how to share the screen, and how we make the shortcut case. So in this we will see like thyroid, the thyroxine, T3, T4, triiodothyronine. Okay, increase the metabolism in blood, body cell. Parathyroid, what they do? Parathyroid hormones. Parathyroid hormone increase blood calcium. Adrenal is the cortex related. So in adrenal we have cortex, cortisol, glucocorticoid, increase blood pressure. Okay, and the hormones are aldosterone, mineralocorticoid that increase the absorption of sodium. Androgen, estrogen. Second is characteristic. Medulla is the epinephrine, adrenaline, norepinephrine. Okay, that it is sympathomatic, sym, sympathomimetic. Okay. In pancreas we have isolate a cell in that secrete insulin glucagon that decrease blood pressure and keep blood pressure. In pituitary gland we have anti-love like growth hormone that secrete. Okay, somatotropin we can say. Increase they increase bones and tissue growth. Thyroid stimulating hormone stimulate thyroid gland. T3, T4. Adrenocorticotropic hormones they stimulate adrenal cortex or cortisol secretion. Gonadotropin we have follicle stimulating hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone that oogenesis and spermatogenesis. Luteinizing hormone that promotes ovulation, testosterone secretion, prolactin is growing the breast, breast tissue and milk secretion. Posterior lobe is the antidiuretic hormone, the reabsorption of water by kidney tubule. Oxytocin is the contraction of uterus in childbirth. Ovaries, estrogen, development of ova in female. Progesterone is the prepare and maintain the stress in pregnancy. Testis is the testosterone develop of the sperm and male. Second is sex characteristics. They do that work all. Adrenal cortex is the outer section cortex of the east adrenal gland. Adrenal medulla is the inner section. Medulla of medulla. Inner section we will say medulla. Okay, of each adrenal gland. Ovaries are located in the lower abdomen. Pancreas is located behind the stomach. We also say slit, alpha and beta cell, slit of Langerhans. We can also say that. Parathyroid. Parathyroid gland is the four small gland on the posterior of the thyroid gland. Pituitary gland is located at the base of the brain. We know that all. Anterior lobe adenohypophysis, posterior lobe neurohypophysis. Testis is the two glands enclosed in the scrotal. Thyroid gland is located in the neck on either side. Okay. Adrenaline is secreted by the adrenal medulla. Adrenocortical adrenocorticotropic hormones secreted by the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Aldosterone is secreted by the adrenal cortex. Androgen is the male hormone secreted by the testes. Antidiuretic hormone secreted by the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Calcitonin is secreted by the thyroid gland. Cortisol secreted by the adrenal cortex. Epinephrine adrenaline secreted by the adrenal medulla. They increase heart rate, blood pressure, dilates airways. Estradiol, estrogen, female hormone secreted by the ovaries. Estrogen is female hormone secreted by the ovaries. Follicular stimulating hormone secreted by the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Glucagon is secreted by the alpha islet cell. Growth hormone secreted by the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Insulin secreted by the beta islet cell. Luteinizing hormone secreted by the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Non-epinephrine secreted by the adrenal medulla. Oxytocin secreted by the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Parathyroid secreted by the parathyroid gland. Progesterone secreted by the ovary prepares the uterus for the pregnancy. Somatotropin secreted by the anterior lobe of pituitary gland. Thyroid stimulating hormone is secreted by the anterior lobe of pituitary gland. Thyroid thyroxine is secreted by the thyroid gland. Thyroid is secreted by the thyroid gland. Vasopressin secreted by the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Catecholamine is hormone derived from an amino acid. Corticosteroid is hormone steroid produced by the adrenal cortex. Electrolyte is mineral salt found in the blood and tissue. Glucocorticoid steroid hormone secreted by the adrenal. Homeostasis is the tendency of an organism to maintain a constant internal environment. The tendency of an organism. Hormone is a chemical secreted by the endocrine gland. They travel through the blood to a distant organ or gland where it influences the structure, function that organ or gland. Mineralocorticoid is a steroid hormone secreted by the adrenal cortex. Receptor is a cellular or nuclear protein that bind to the hormone. Cella-2C, a cavity at the base of skull. Sex hormone is a steroid. Steroid is a complex substance related to the fat derived from the sterol. Sympho- Sympathomimetic is a pertaining to mimicking of copying the effect of sympathy. Target tissue is the cell of an organ. Aden, we know that aden is the gland. Adenine is inflammation of gland. Aden, adrenal ectomy, like adrenal gland, removing of adrenal gland. Gonadotropin is a sex hormone, or like ovaries and testes. Pancreas is a pancreatectomy, like removing pancreas. Parathyroid gland, the parathyroidectomy, removing parathyroid gland. Hypopituitarism. Hypopituitarism is the pituitary gland. Okay, hypomen below the pituitary gland. Thyroid gland is the thyrotropic hormone. It is thyrotropic hormone. Okay, TSH is a thyroid stimulating hormone. Thyroid inflammation of thyroid hormone. Androgen is the male sex organ. Hypercalcemia. Hypercalcemia is the like excessive. It has become excessive amount of like calcium. Okay, hypocalcemia, decreasing the calcium amount. Hypercalcemia is calciuria, like uric acid. It has increased. Cortex outer region. Cortis corticosteroid. Corticosteroid. We know that endocrinologists they secrete. Thirst mean polydipsia mean multiple. Poly mean many. Increase. Uncontrollable diabetes. Dipsia is diabetes. Writers call it thirst. It thirst. So dipsia mean thirst. Okay. We take the water multiple time. Drink water multiple time like this. Estrogen. It mainly it happens when the diabetes has increased. Okay. Or diabetes got decreased. In that condition, the diabetes uncontrollable. In that situation, it has happened. Estrogenic is the female. Sugar is the glucagon. Sugar, hyperglycemia. So glycemic hyper means excessive amount of glucose condition. Glycemic is a patient with diabetes mellitus required glycemic control. Glycogen is the glycogen is the animal starch that can be converted into glucose by the liver. Semen is the homeostasis. Hormones is the hormonal potassium hypokalemia, like potassium amount is decrease. Milk is the prolactin. Mucus is the Meigs edema. Mucus is the pus, okay, like edema made, like any kind of like abnormal defect is there. Sodium is the hyponatremia, growing hypophycectomy, the removing of the hypophyes, like removing something at the base of anything gland. Somatotropin is the body solid is the steroid. Solid structure is a steroid. Childbirth is the oxytocin. Poison is the thyrotoxicosis. Poison it is. Urine is the antidiuretic hormone. Pituitary gland, we know that. So removing something at the below. And agon is a gather together glucagon. Hypoglycemia, decreasing amount. And the epinephrine substance adrenocorticotropin, stimulating hormone it is. Glycosuria, urine condition. Glyco mean glucose secret come in a urine. Urea, good normal. Your thyroid, you mean good normal. Thyroid is normal. Excessive above like hyperkalemia, okay, and deficiency like hyperinsulinism. Oxytocin is a rapid all pan hypopituitarism. All polyuria is a multiple urination. Tetraiodothyronine, 4 triiodothyronine. So like thyroid gland, we know that all these things goiter happen, iodine diet, uh, dietary condition. Hypersecretion is the hyperthyroidism, overactivity of the thyroid gland. Okay, hyperthyroidism, hypothyroid, hyper mean excessive, hypo mean lower, underactivity of the thyroid gland. Thyroid carcinoma is the cancer of the thyroid gland. Hyperparathyroidism is the excessive production of the parathormone, and hypoparathyroidism is the deficiency production of parathyroid hormone. Hypoparathyroidism, okay, deficiency, hypo mean deficiency of the parathyroid, the deficiency production of the parathyroid hormone. Adrenal varilism is the excessive secretion of adrenal. Cushing syndrome is the group of sign of symptom. Addison disease is the hypofunctioning of the adrenal cortex. Pheochromocytoma. Pheochromocytoma is a benign tumor of the adrenal medulla. Hyperinsulinism is the excessive secretion of the insulin. Diabetic mellitus, a lack of the insulin secretion or extent of insulin in the promoting sugar starch and fat metabolite. So diabetes will increase. Diabetes has many types. Diabetes type 1, diabetes type 1, type 2. Also we have diabetes type 2 and okay. We have two type of diabetes, type 1, type 2. Type 2 is a complicated condition. Clinical feature is usually occur before, usually occur after 30. Diabetes mellitus comparison it is not for us. Glaucoma and cataract contraction. Then diabetes mellitus it happen. Okay, what happen? Glaucoma and contracts. Coronary atherosclerosis, gastroparesis, neuropathy, retinopathy, stroke, and this all this thing happen. Acromegaly is the hypersecretion of growth hormone from the anterior pituitary. Gigantism is the hypersecretion of growth hormone from the anterior pituitary. Dwarfism is the congenital hypersecretion of growth hormone. Panhypopituitarism is the deficiency of all pituitary hormone syndrome. The syndrome of inappropriate ADH. So antidiuretic hormone it is excessive secretion of antidiuretic hormone. This diabetes insipidus is the insufficient secretion of antidiuretic hormone. Vasopressin, vasopressin treatment. This is a condition when the gland secretes hyper, excessive, or below. This happens. Fasting plasma glucose is a known of fasting blood sugar test. It is serum and urine test is the measurement of the hormone. Thyroid function test is the measurement T3, T4, TSH, agro, agro, agro ophthalmometry. So measurement of the eyeball. CT we do, MRI do, thyroid gland ultrasound do. This is the word that you can read full form. This is okay. Many also given in this. Nothing was in this chapter. This word you can read in this here. This word will come for the future. Okay.